All right, here we go. Straight politicking on all you mofos. And I'm here with Munchie B, the mayor, and we got a guest host, Angee Smallz from Latin Affiliated. How you doing, Angie? What's going on?
Doing awesome. Good to be back. Good to be back in the building with you guys. Love being with you guys.
Okay, lower Angie's audio level just a little bit. And Munchie B, the mayor, what's going on with you?
Oh man, same old script. Everything good over here this way.
Okay, so Angie, you actually had some information about what does he call himself?
Lefty.
No,
Soulless.
no. Lefty has a nickname for himself. Dang, I forgot what it was. Something about your favorite gangster or something.
Oh gosh, why didn't you bring that up right now? You should have asked me before. Yeah, most valuable gangster,
Most
maybe.
most valuable gangster.
Is that what it is?
So what happened to Lefty though?
He got in a really bad car accident on the same weekend as other people that got into an accident on 4th of July. So, man, I don't know if you saw the footage of his car, but it was freaking burnt to the ground. I don't know how he walked away from that, but the online's reporting that he's gonna have to have surgery on like his arm and his elbow and his hand, and I mean that's not surprising. But I did reach out to his manager Solus, shout out Solus, and just asked him for an update. And he basically said Lefty is sober, he's focused, and he's going to come back better and stronger than ever. So shout out to Lefty Gunplay. We wish you a speedy recovery.
Where did this happen at?
In LA, I saw some footage. I think it was of him because I know people just repost stuff, but it looked like it was off of the 710 somewhere near Long Beach.
And do you know if he was in the car by himself or with some others?
I'm assuming he was in the car by himself, but I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know because they've only reported on him, and the car was free. Like I said, if you didn't see the footage, the whole thing was destroyed. It looked like when Paul Walker got into his car accident. You know how burnt up that car was? That's what Lefty's looked like.
Yeah, I think Paul Walker he took his car and just wrapped it around a pole.
That's man.
That's how bad that car looked.
Yeah. That's basically what.
So it'll make sense to ask who was at fault then. It's just
Sounds like
Lefty,
my boy lost control.
yeah, like self-inflicted.
Yeah. Or he was just speeding. I think Paul Walker was just speeding when he did it. I don't think he was high, drunk, intoxicated, nothing.
Actually, Paul Walker wasn't driving.
Oh, that's right. His friend was driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, get better, Lefty, for sure.
Okay. Lefty Gunplay. Hopefully we'll have him back here. We haven't had him here since Munchie had him on Richard Hart. And then you had him on Latin Affiliated.
Yeah, he's what made my channel go up. I always give him credit for that.
He blew up your channel, huh?
He sure did. He blessed us for sure. Shout out to Lefty.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to get him on a one-on-one. But I saw him being so busy with all these other platforms, I just left it alone.
Yes.
What you mean? Busy with all these other platforms. What that mean?
When I see somebody that's like oversaturating themselves, I lose interest. I like, people that are kind of unknown or just a little bit is known about them. Maybe they hit one platform or two, but if you already done like 10 platforms, I don't even. I'll leave it up to all those other platforms to tell that guy's story.
Yeah, he was on a good podcast run.
You got him kind of early, I think.
I think so. I did.
But the first time I saw him, he was on that. I think he was doing a freestyle with. Oh man, that was the first time I seen him. He was doing a freestyle live on a young Latino platform, and he was a former rapper, and I just can't remember his name. I think that dude, whoever I'm forgetting, he had him first.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, I had Munchie B first,
Heck yeah. Shout out Munchie B.
and look at Munchie B now. Everybody wants
Jeez,
Munchie
I
B.
know, for real. We're fighting over Munchie B right now.
Yeah, I had Munchie
For
B.
real.
Stay here, Munchie.
No, I ain't shaking nowhere. For sure.
I could say I had Nipsey Hussle first.
Damn, that's legendary.
Technically, it was second, but his first interview was only like 5 minutes. So I had his first long, like 45, 1 hour.
And where that set again?
The Nipsey Hussle one? Mm-hmm. We did it on the roof of my office building that no longer exists.
No, where the interview.
Oh, it's on Street TV.
Okay,
It
okay.
was in 2009. We did that one.
Okay. Yeah, you need to revamp it.
I did after he passed in
Start
2019.
sharing it to the. I don't do Reddit, but it's like Reddit make shit like kind of catapult again.
Yeah, I don't like Reddit.
No?
We don't like the drama side of it. You still use it as a tool though.
But Reddit has a lot of misinformation on it.
Yeah, I said you don't like the drama side, but you can
Yeah.
still use it for what you use it for.
I like
you know?
it. It's like the National Enquirer.
Yeah, well,
Some of it's true.
I don't like anything that's half true.
I actually have been more on Reddit than I am on Instagram lately. I just been reading people's like
I don't even know how it works.
ghetto-ness.
No, you know what people are doing on Reddit is they're creating accounts, and they're using your name too, Munchie. They're putting out rumors and stories about you that may or may not be true, just so that the masses get to read it, like Angee.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And ChatGPT uses Reddit as a source.
Yeah.
So
You gotta check ChatGPT, man. That stuff, it even tells you don't rely on it because it's wrong sometimes. You cannot rely on ChatGPT.
Yeah, but
Do your own research.
yeah, I did Nipsey first or second, if you want to say second. I got a lot of firsts though. I got a lot of firsts.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm looking for my next first. I'm looking for my next first right now.
Yeah, I got one for you for the be his first pull up.
Oh yeah, the one in Pomona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna follow up on that. I'm trying to think another first that I did of someone that's out there doing their thing. Is
Is it Bosco?
I did Bosco's kind of his first interview was talking about the Rosemo thing with some dude.
What you call Rosemo when he was fresh? I mean, not Rosemo. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
You got Bosco when he was fresh.
I guess you could say I got Bosco's first like long interview, 2013. 2013.
First extended interview.
Yeah, first extended interview. There you go.
Right.
That it hit 1 million views too, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I did. I know you ain't a big fan of this guy, Stupid Young. I pulled up on Stupid Young when if you look at the interview, Stupid Young looks like he's 12 years old because he had a really young face.
Stupid young is stupid dumb.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
For real, he's dumb.
He's from Long Beach, right?
Yeah. He's from over there in your old neck of the woods.
Yep.
I did his first, and then he done hit everything. Vlad, no jumper, you know. So
But what he got to talk about? Is his interviews interesting? Because I never even checked them up.
I think he is interesting. You know, we don't really get to hear from too many Cambodian or Asian gang members from L.A. that bang the B or the C. He's still one of the few. I think a Samoan. We want to hear more from Samoans. There ain't too many Samoan interviews online either.
Or Tungans.
Yeah.
They got Tungan Crips in Inglewood. You can pull up in the TCGs.
I don't pull up no more like I used to. I gotta find.
We didn't distracted you?
No. I'll pull up. What I mean by pull up, remember how I told you I did the Millers? Like I didn't know no one there.
No.
I ain't doing that.
No. I said pull up, not pop up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a pop up.
Yeah, I used to pop up on dudes. I used to pop up and show them.
With the camera and mic.
You know how crazy that is? No, think about it.
Yeah.
I'm just popping up in
Alex-
your hood with a camera and asking if y'all would come online.
I know, Alex. That's why you're legend.
And I got my wife as evidence. She came with me on a few of these expeditions. This is even before she was married to me. She used to go out on some expeditions with me.
On the pop ups.
Yeah. I remember one time we went out on a pop up in Compton, and then we had to get up out of there fast. I said, "Hit this corner, hit that corner."
Oh, shit.
She ends up hitting the curb, and we end up with two flat tires, the front on one side of the car, two flats.
Oh, damn.
I was so
You
mad.
trying to get away from whatever hood you was interviewed?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but we caught two flats that day.
Yeah, I really got to wait.
She's a real one.
I remember one time I got ran up out of the park where the Southside Compton Crips kick it at. I guess it's called South Park. No,
South Park.
is it called South Park?
Yep.
Yeah. I got ran up out of there one day. I was in there taking pictures of all the graffiti on the playground area, and a dude came out of nowhere, just like, "What you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm just taking pictures." And before I knew it, it was like 3-4 of them dudes posted,
Oh, damn.
and I'm sure they're still around. Hey, it was me, y'all. Y'all ran down on Alex Alonso.
Yeah, they're all safe and sorry, though.
Yeah. And then one time I was in the 20 Outlaws, and the guy tells me to pull up on the block. I'm with my cameraman. He's sitting in the passenger side. I pull up one block over. It's the wrong block, but I assumed it was the right block because I saw a whole bunch of people standing in the front yard. Turns out they were doing a repass from a funeral, and the dude from the front yard pulls a gun out on me, draws down, and said, "What you doing here?" And I just peeled out.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, no more popping up.
Pull ups only, no pop ups.
Yeah, it's got to be, and I do them in the middle of the day, early. You know, can we do it at 11 a.m.? There's no police. Most of all the people you don't want to see are still asleep at 11 a.m.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm looking for the next first interview, Angee.
Okay, yeah.
Might be funny.
I'll keep my ear to the streets.
Yeah, but no, I got a good at least 15 first interviews of dudes that are still doing their thing today.
That sound like content right there. Where the compilation at?
I know someone, you know who told me to do that? Cinemills told me, we talked about that on Cinemills, all the firsts that I got. And, all right, I guess I wanted to talk about an old, hey, these cold cases, no statute of limitations on homicides. So I think I was reading somewhere an 80-year-old dude got arrested for a murder that happened like 40 years.
Might as well let that go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He ain't go. He can't do no time for that.
But
He gonna die in there.
this
He
homicide,
might die the next week.
yeah. Hey,
80 years old.
one time I was reading an article of a guy that killed an elderly woman. I want to say the elderly woman was like 87. They charged him with a murder. Of course, he's going to do all day for it, right? But an 87-year-old victim has a very short life expectancy, right?
Right.
So do you believe that a person that kills an elderly person that's like 90 should get a lesser sentence because their life expectancy is short anyways, right? Do you understand the logic?
Yeah. A life sentence.
I'm gonna say no comment.
2 years. 1 to 2 years.
I just think it's just wild that you could kill a 90-year-old
But then
person.
again, what would make you want to kill an elderly woman?
Oh, they're out there though.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I can't really speak up for you. You know what I mean?
You kill a 90-year-old person and you get all day for it.
At 90, you basically harmless.
Yeah, but like you were saying, that person can die the next day
Right.
naturally,
You gotta do the rest of your life in jail.
and you're doing all day.
But you did kill somebody that's already dying anyway. They gonna be gone in 3 years.
Well,
Maybe less.
Hey, have you ever heard of this where someone gets shot, they survive the shooting, but a little infection occurs in their thigh, and then that infection becomes a disease. 20 years later, they die from that infection that was started by the shooting incident, and then they go back and find the original shooter, and guess what they do to the original shooter?
What's that?
Charge that shooter with murder. 10 years, 15 years later. It's happened a handful of times.
Wow. Well, you can't outrun stuff sometimes.
Well, the case that I had, it was the dude died 9 years later from the gunshot wound, and he ended up beating the case. But I was like, wow, they really, if they want you, they're gonna come after you.
Yeah.
Find any way.
Basically.
Yeah. So even if you die from a gunshot injury years later, they could still come back and charge the original shooter with murder.
Wow.
No stipulation.
But here we go in Riverside, a homicide that happened in 2007. So that's 18 years ago, if you're doing your math correct on that, right?
It feels like yesterday almost, but
Yeah,
can't
these
believe.
millennials been flying.
I know, 2007 does feel like yesterday. Yeah. So you got an article on this, Angee,
Yeah.
and then I believe I have a clip. We'll read the article first.
All right. So basically, 5 people were arrested in connection to this 2007 cold case murder and robbery in Meade Valley, Riverside County. On June 13th, 2007, 51-year-old Andres Valdez was shot and killed during a home invasion by masked suspects. Despite initial investigations, no arrests were made at that time. And then in this year, in February, in 2025, the Riverside County Sheriff's Central Homicide Unit, they reopened the case, leading to the identification of several suspects. Then in July, Kenneth Tucker and Deshaun Hill were arrested in Riverside. Then Dennis Haynes and Kenneth Haynes They were later arrested in Arizona and then Texas, and then followed by Kenneth Crutchfield in Texas also. And now all 5 face murder charges and are going to be extradited to Riverside County.
Insane.
Damn, they went all over the Southwest to get these people.
I believe one of the dudes has Paris ties too. When I was reading another article on that.
Paris, California.
Yeah, which is right there.
I'll try to get up out of here and get over there with Russell.
What you mean?
Russell Simmons.
Oh, well, it's too late for these guys. They're all captured.
Yeah, they should have did that 10 years ago, even when they were under the radar.
Yeah, I wonder how this investigation all came back to the desks of these Riverside investigators in 2025. Is there any information on what prompted them to do this 18 years later?
I mean, I guess they said it was a cold case for a while, but somebody brought attention to it and it was reopened. And then after that, there was advances in technology like the DNA, digital cell phone records, and new witness testimony. Bingo!
And then if they have 5 guys in custody, somebody is probably telling. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless they all keep it,
G.
they keep it G. What you know about keeping it G?
Man,
Don't talk nothing. Don't say nothing. Won't
somebody
be nothing.
told police don't do good police work.
Oh,
Somebody told
I believe that.
snitches is needed when it come to that type of line of work that the police do.
No, I'm gonna tell you some police work that they do that's pretty incredible. Because I saw this on America's Most Wanted. Guy did a murder like 30 years ago. They know who did it. They have a picture of him, but no one's seen him in 30 years. So the police forensics will draw what they think you're gonna look like 30 years from now. This is before with the AI. And they eventually arrested this dude in New Jersey for killing his family 30 years later. And the drawing looked exactly how he looked when they took him into custody. In fact, people were calling in saying, I think I know that guy from the drawing that the police, they constructed a drawing of what he would look like.
That's a
That's
gift, man.
crazy.
How them sketch artists be doing that shit?
That is impressive.
That's a gift. But I don't think
So
they be
great.
quite just describing and then they just, that's like close to impossible.
It's a science called age progression. And now with AI, you could take a picture of you, Angee, put it in the AI and say, what am I going to look like when I'm 70?
Oh man, I'm gonna look just like my mother. I already am starting to look like her.
Shout out moms.
And then you could say, oh, okay, do I want to look like that? Or you can change your lifestyle to make sure you don't gain weight or whatever, whatever the aging process does to you.
Man, yeah, for sure. I'm on that journey right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
I actually don't even care as a man.
that's good. Well, they say men have it easier. Like they kind of age better.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, because I started getting gray hairs in my 20s. And every time I walked outside, guess what's the first thing people would say to me?
What up, Grandpa?
Just dumb comments like, hey, do you know you got gray hair? I'm like, yeah, I think I looked in the mirror today. Every day. 'Cause I started graying when I was like 24, 25. So,
You could just dye. Oh, that's why P Diddy's sketches in court. He's got white hair because he don't have hair dye in there.
no, they don't let you hook yourself up in there.
Shit, they sell everything else.
Right?
No, if you could buy toothpaste, why can't you get hair dye?
Yeah.
Shit,
I know.
that's crazy.
All right, so I think they do some good science every once in a while. Forensics, Munch.
Without just people telling.
Yeah, without people telling. I believe.
Oh, yeah, I was trying like, where you going with that? No.
No, I believe most of the cases where they solve them from people telling, they can solve them without people telling. It's just you got to do more, more work.
Okay, everything get easier. The old NBA players be like, it's easier for these new, all they do is shoot threes. Or the NFL players like, it ain't as physical. Now, these detectives is way easier. You got all the cameras. Then, our snitches are famous, so now people want to snitch. You got YSL Woodies and Charlestons. It's way easier, bro. I doubt they got sketch artists like they did back in the days when we used to watch America's Most Wanted. They like, They didn't retire. It's hard to find one of them. They ain't hired one in a long time. And they got to share them in between agencies. I bet you,
But
IPD, LAPD, and shares all got to share the same sketch artists. They hard to find. I bet you.
but you don't need the talented drawer now with the digital photography, digital art, and AI, right?
I mean, they had it like again in P Diddy's case.
No, that woman was hand drawing them,
Yeah.
in the courtroom. Yeah,
Because no cameras were allowed.
yeah. So that person, but see, the one that's drawing them in the courtroom aren't the same artists that the police use to investigate crimes.
Okay.
So it's a
No,
different.
I just saw his job is to sketch.
Yeah,
They're like he not. But I'm saying is police and detectives, they would be nowhere without a cooperator. It's needed.
it's needed to solve them fast.
That's like cooking with no seasoning, bro. What
Well,
you mean fast?
to solve a crime fast, cooperation helps.
Man, first 48 is a very that should do not be in the first 48 hours for one.
Yeah.
And then the cases that get solved in the first 48 hours don't come from snitches. They did some stupid shit and got themselves caught.
Okay. Do you think that the snitches help investigate more crimes, or the cameras do? Because let's take Nipsey Hussle.
Snitches.
Nipsey Hussle as an example.
Because along with the cameras, they still go get the snitches.
Correct, they
Because
do.
only with the cameras it'll be an ID case.
But they didn't need Cowboy Herman Douglas for the Nipsey Hussle case.
Yeah, they did.
Nah, he helped, but
To get the conviction they wanted, they needed him.
I think that they would have still won the same conviction without him.
His Cowboy Herman, his job was to let the world know and the jury know that that man did not call him a snitch. To take that theory away that made him temporarily insane and he's on medicine and that's what made him act out the way he did. So now manslaughter's off the table. He was very much needed.
Yeah, you can say that, but the prosecution could have worded their case differently just by relying on the cameras.
Relying on the cameras, you ain't got no audio. So you can't say what sent this man on with just the cameras.
Yeah, but one of the arguments the prosecution had was, okay, even if you want to believe that theory about snitching, it was 9 minutes from that conversation to the shooting. And he kept on telling the prosecution kept telling the jury, 9 minutes is too long for that theory regardless.
That 9 minutes is too long for that theory when in regards to Alex Alonso or Munchie B because we don't have mental health issues.
Yeah.
When you messing with somebody that talk to somebody, go order their food, go get some money from the girl, go back and get their food, come back, shake hands, get in the car, pull off, go around the corner, buy this burrito or chili cheese fries, whatever you order, put the chili cheese fries on top of the car, and then walk back over there, shoot, and come back and pull off. Ain't none of that normal. Who ordered their food and then who put their foot on top of the hood and go back around the corner and do what they did? None of that is normal. He have a problem and he got record of being mentally ill.
That wasn't saying that he was trying to enjoy as much of his last meal before he committed the murder.
So you hold somebody to the fire when it's somebody that got perfect sense like you and I, not a person that got a record of having mental health issues. He lost his case because the public eye is snitches and they didn't want him to have the proper representation, so they ran that man off, threatening his family and stuff. So if he would have had that same lawyer he started off with, he would have got manslaughter and been home next year.
You mean if Christoper Darden stayed on the case
Yes, sir.
as Eric Holder's defense attorney,
Yes, sir.
he might have did a better job than the public defender?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's possible,
And
but
he would have been on his way home next year.
I think he was still going to get found guilty.
Nah.
Because the whole crime was on camera, and you play to the emotions of the jury when you got the whole crime on camera from beginning to end.
Yeah, and that's why I think it need to be a rule when you on trial and then the victim is somebody like Nipsey Hussle or Michael Jackson. What's his name? Conrad.
Yeah, his doctor.
Yeah, the doctor, he didn't stand a chance. everybody think they was raised with Michael Jackson. They even think that's his brother, their daddy, or their favorite artist. Oh, that's my brother. He didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, so you're saying that the celebrity influences the jury.
Yeah, man, because they want you to do your time because they was raised off you. Like, who don't feel bad for Michael Jackson?
But didn't he get out in a year?
I think
No, he got found guilty, but he got found guilty of what he supposed to got found guilty
Yeah.
of because he didn't murder him. It's manslaughter. He
I don't even think it was manslaughter.
what was it? What did he get found guilty
Of administering
That's
hospital drugs in a private residence or something like that.
That's a form of manslaughter.
Let me see. Was it Conrad Murray?
Yes.
Conrad Murray,
That,
that's-
that sounds right.
And that's why they would never let nobody like me be a DA or a judge because I would have let the man go home. Because he asked for that.
Rest in peace, Michael Jackson.
Nah, long live Mike.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I love it.
I
Oh yeah,
know.
he got the lowest form of manslaughter,
the lowest
involuntary manslaughter.
So he got the low end of involuntary manslaughter, but at least he got his freedom.
Yeah, at least he didn't do that much time. But you know what? He ends up losing his whole medical license.
Right. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
He did lose that. Too.
But imagine a world with no corroborators.
But he shouldn't have been
informers, or
doing that.
snitches. Imagine that.
Wait, he shouldn't have been doing what, Angie?
Administering those drugs to Michael.
But what if Michael's paying you $100,000 a
That's
month?
why he was doing
Yeah.
it. No, I
Angie
understand.
would do it too.
It's hard to tell Michael Jackson
If
no.
I
Look.
did,
Look.
if
Angie,
we're gonna do it, he better not kill him.
Angie with no med school. If Michael Jackson asks Angie,
on, girl.
administer me this
Just turn this
Pulvivor,"
button on and
she'll
watch
be over
me
there
sleep.
putting on gloves doing this.
Well,
Angie,
I
what are you
mean,
doing? Huh?
part of his job was to monitor Michael, and that's where he messed up. He apparently left him and wasn't monitoring him. So
Well, there's a reason why propofol is not supposed to be used in a private home.
What? I've been under that before.
Yeah.
I got shot in the head. They had me out under that. I don't know how anybody could use that as a recreational drug.
I know, man.
That's why I woke up, and after I got to the hospital, I understood how Ever Neverland came about. That shit had you loony as hell.
So Conrad Murray was sentenced to 4 years, and he only did 1 year and 11 months.
I'm glad. I think he should have got a joint suspension and went home.
But Michael Jackson fans are not happy with a 4-year sentence for killing their number one artist.
Of
Nope.
course not, man. Michael Jackson. I'm telling you, he bigger than life as an artist. Man, they need a special law, and then you got judge by jury. I mean, hold on, trial by jury, trial by judge. Maybe you should go trial by judge if you up against things like celebrities like Michael Jackson's and if Stevie Wonder died. You think I'm gonna put my hands in the jury?
Now, that's a good idea. If you have a celebrity case, a high-profile case, let a judge do it because you know the jury's not going to be unbiased.
I'm gonna go trial by judge.
Yeah.
Well, if I accidentally pushed Stevie Wonder down the stairs and God forbid he had passed away, and then they got me on trial, I'm gonna go trial by judge versus these people that was raised on them and that listen to KJLH every morning and go convict me.
Well, remember the police officer that killed the brother Twyman? And
Yep.
how much time did he get?
Some bullshit. I can't remember. That's why I said the case we gonna talk about. He probably got 3 days, but he got some months or something or probation.
I'll look it up in a second. But now that we got Conrad Murray's sentence was 4 years, I wonder if the police officer Brett Hankinson, who killed Breonna Taylor out there in Kentucky, got more time than Conrad Murray's 4-year sentence. Because we just found out that police officer was sentenced this week for killing Breonna Taylor.
Okay, so see who Ryan Twyman, the man that murdered him, the sheriff that murdered Ryan Twyman. How long did he get? Then we go see. Well, I know it's lower than Breonna Taylor's.
Well, okay, we got an article, right, Angie? And then I think, do we have a clip for the Breonna Taylor, Brent Hankinson sentencing? Play that clip first.
A federal judge will send Brett Hankinson to prison for violating Breonna Taylor's constitutional rights.
He sentenced the former LMPD detective to 33 months. WOKY's Norman Seawright is live outside the courthouse. Norman?
Rick, not only is that 33 months in prison, there's also 3 years supervised release, $100 fine. He cannot be an officer again. He cannot possess a gun. All of this we just got from Alexis Matthews, who just came from inside the courtroom. Now, again, be aware this is a loud situation. People are really expressing a range of emotions, a lot of dismay as well. Some people are talking about they feel like he maybe should have gotten a longer sentence. Again, would like to remind you the language here might get a little bit coarse, so apologies in advance for that. But just take a look at some of the emotion that you are seeing outside this courthouse right now. People are trying to comfort the family. They're trying to express solidarity. And they're trying to be sure that this community knows that they're still standing with him.
Okay,
even as
that's cool.
This sentence that they did not find to be sufficient.
And you got any extra information, Angee, on this recent sentencing of Brett Hankinson?
Yeah, like the news reporter said, he, was sentenced to 33 months in federal prison with an additional 3 years of supervised release for violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights during a 2020 police raid that resulted in her death. He fired 10 shots blindly into Taylor's apartment, with some bullets entering a neighboring unit, but the only ones that struck were Breonna. The Department of Justice has controversially recommended only 1 day in prison.
Huh?
That's what
Hold on, rewind that. Who recommended that?
the Department of Justice. I believe that was supposed to be the police officer's lawyer. That actually,
Leave me alone.
yeah, he wanted him to only serve a day in prison. And so Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, called the sentencing process disrespectful and questioned the prosecutor's commitment to the case. Taylor's boyfriend at the time, Kenneth Walker, expressed relief that Hankinson would face at least some prison time. Hankinson's attempt to get a new trial was rejected by the judge, who described the motion as vague and unconvincing. He remains the only person convicted in connection with Taylor's death, which occurred when officers returned fire after Walker shot once, believing intruders were breaking in. Protesters demonstrated outside the courthouse following the sentencing, and 4 were arrested. So 4 of those demonstrators were arrested. But yeah, that's what the article says.
And then, the Attorney General for the state of Kentucky, a dude named Daniel Cameron, he didn't want to charge any of the officers for killing Breonna. So it took the feds to come in to do it. And Daniel Cameron is a black dude, a black Attorney General, but he's a Trumper.
Oh my God.
Daniel Cameron is a Trumper. And it's obvious if I ask this question, guess what race his wife is? Daniel Cameron, the black Attorney General of Kentucky.
Russian.
You got a white wife.
Russian.
Yeah. I mean, and some people might say that doesn't matter, but when all of these things are aligned, you're a Trumper. You don't want to prosecute cops for killing black people.
He's a Trumper.
And you have a white wife. Same thing with Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court Justice.
Hold on. You said he don't want the police to do the time. You know what that remind me of?
What's that?
When Alex Alonso came to interview me at the park, and this woman was interrupting Alex while he was filming the police, harasses and bumpers up, and he was letting her know they didn't do anything. And she said, well, how do you know? They just doing their job. You think they don't get calls every day? They risk their life on the line. It was crazy. And she was a black lady.
Yeah, she's a Trumper for sure.
She's a Trump. You got a Trump guy and she's a Trump woman. That shit. I hope she stay out of my park. For real.
So what's so fascinating about that Breonna Taylor case, the boyfriend, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
he started busting on the police, but he didn't know they were the police.
Yeah. I mean, what are you
Yeah.
supposed to do if somebody's about to break in your house?
And he shot one of them in the leg. And they eventually released him.
Okay, but see, something did change after that because they stopped doing no-knock warrants, right?
Well, I think in Kentucky they're going to reevaluate them, but there are a lot of states that still do them. But I think federally they should stop doing no knock warrants.
They should stop doing it across the board.
Yeah, that's what I mean by federally.
Especially, man, come
The whole
on, bro.
country.
We come from like a place where a lot of our people is PTSD'd up, and then you hit our doors and boom, and we got kids we trying to protect. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if there's going to be any more, because Brent Hankinson is not the only cop that made mistakes out there that day, but so far he's just the only one charged. But there was at least 3 or 4 other cops that could have been at least minimally charged.
Well, if they wanted him to do the or recommended he do a day, the other party ain't gonna get anything.
So he got almost 3 years. So he got a little less time.
They do a year and a half and then do the rest in the halfway house.
Yeah, he got less time than Conrad Murray got for killing Michael Jackson. So, but the record of the lowest time probably is the sheriff that killed Ryan Twyman. I just pulled up how much time he was sentenced to.
And that was what?
L.A. sheriff deputy gets 30 days for killing Ryan Twyman in an overkill shooting that was seen all on video. And he went back to the trunk, pulled out another rifle, and just aired him out after he was already shot. 30 days.
That wasn't what they was talking about when they said justice for Ryan Twyman. 30 days is not justice.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I don't know if this in the article you just read about that deputy, he can no longer be a cop again. They made sure of that, but with this cop that killed Ryan Twyman, I'm not certain. He could probably go to another city, another state, and be a cop again. They rehire these cops all the time.
Yeah.
That are charged with like ridiculous crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But is that because they resign? They resigned before they could get fired, so they could be eligible to still be, a public servant.
No, what you also have to include, which happened with Brett Hankinson, you got to strip them of their certification as being a cop, their POST, post certification. The George Floyd Justice Act had in the law that when a cop is in any form of trouble, they should be stripped. When you're stripped of your certification, you can't be a cop anywhere. But most cops don't get stripped of their certification.
They just go to a different agency.
You just go to a different agency
and be fucked up over there.
Yeah, and it's happened again where a cop went from one. Hey, they rehired this one cop. I want to say the dude only had one eye. He lost his eye in a shootout. They let him go. They said you can't be a cop here anymore with one eye. He got rehired.
Why not?
What you mean? Why not? You think a cop
He got one eye?
Yeah, that's dangerous.
No, it ain't.
Oh, well,
Having one eye?
Well, this cop got rehired in another department or a whole nother city, and he got in trouble there.
I'm trying to see what happens when I close one eye. I could see still pretty good.
Nah, I don't.
Hey, listen. You believe me. If you got one eye, you could be an officer. I don't know what that got to do with anything, especially if you only had one eye your whole life.
No, he got shot. Can you be a police officer with one eye? While it's generally difficult to become a police officer with one eye, it's not impossible. So yeah, there are some departments that will hire you and then some that don't. So this cop got rehired, but then he got in trouble again. And we don't need these cops being rehired. But I think the one eye thing, you could argue that it's ADA, American Disabilities Act. You can't discriminate against disabilities.
Yeah.
All right. Not Daniel Cameron, but Brett Hankinson. He's on his way to the federal penitentiary, but most likely he's going to one of those camps. And like Munchie said, he'll probably be out in a year.
He'll be out in a year, maybe a year and some change, and then he'll do the rest in the halfway house and be back to being the.
And it ain't like he's going to like some dangerous prison.
No.
He's not going to a FCI. He's not going to a USP. He's going to one of those camps that literally looks like a hotel.
Listen, blink, he'll be back out in the halfway house, and after that, he'll be right back at the cigar lounge smoking with 600 and the rest of the police, Michael Dowd and all the rest of them.
Oh, yeah. Ain't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Crooked cops and on-duty cops hanging out together.
And 600.
And 600. Well, yeah. All right. we had this lawyer, you know, the YSL legal team had a bunch of lawyers. It included your favorite lawyer,
My boy Steele.
Brian Steele. But one of the lawyers from that Atlanta team was just recently charged with, got indicted for participating in some sort of gang activity. I believe Angie got the story on that one.
Yeah. All right. So YSL defense attorney Nicole, was it a girl?
Yep.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Damn.
Wow.
Free Nicole.
Damn. Okay. Nicole Fegan has been criminally indicted in Fulton County, facing multiple charges, including gang activity, tampering with evidence, and drug distribution. Prosecutors allege Fegan tipped off a fugitive about evidence, urged an 4PF gang member to dispose of a phone and unlawfully provide drugs, including meth, oxycodone, and marijuana, to inmate Tanquarius Mender, whom she represented during the YSL trial. Fegan, known for her aggressive defense of clients accused under Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act, had earned a strong reputation in legal circles. The charges stem from alleged conduct during the YSL trial over 2 years ago. Her attorney, Drew Feinlein, called the indictment a travesty and said Fegan was simply a zealous advocate for her client. He vowed to fight the false allegations.
Now new at 6 o'clock, a defense attorney in the YSL gang case now faces criminal charges herself. Lawyer Nicole Fegan was indicted on multiple charges today. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live for us in the Fulton County Courthouse. And Mark, the charges include allegations that she tipped off a fugitive about evidence to get rid of.
And this is a fast developing story. I reached out to Drew Feinlein, the defense attorney for defense attorney Nicole Fegan, and I just got this text from him a short while ago. He said, this indictment is a travesty. Nicole Fegan is a fierce trial attorney and well respected amongst her peers. These charges stem from activities alleged to have occurred 2.5 years ago during the YSL trial, for which Ms. Fegan was a zealous advocate for her client. No more. We look forward to fighting these false allegations. Well, here's some insight into what those allegations are. Defense lawyer Nicole Fegan is well known in local legal circles for her effective representation of alleged gang members, often when they are charged with violating Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act, says J.P. Miller, who told us he knows her from both sides of the street, having worked against her when he was a gang investigator with the Fulton County DA's office and consulted with her now that he's a private investigator.
She has a great reputation on the street and with her clients and by her peers. She has been successful in receiving several not guilty and acquittal cases throughout her career.
But now an indictment, which also contains allegations against 2 co-defendants, charges Nicole Fegan herself with violation of the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act and other charges. For example, the gang charge against her alleges she unlawfully solicited a fugitive in a gang murder case to commit criminal gang activity through the commission of the offense of tampering with evidence. A criminal solicitation charge suggests she unlawfully solicited a person by that same name, a 4PF gang member that was a fugitive in a 4PF gang murder case, to get rid of his phone with the intent to obstruct the prosecution of someone else. Another count accuses Fegan and another person of the offense of obtain/procure/give inmate prohibited item without authorization. It alleges they did unlawfully give to Tanquarius Mender, an inmate of the Fulton County Jail, a place of incarceration, methamphetamine. Still another count mentions the prohibited item offense, only this time involving the illegal drug oxycodone, and yet another count alleges something similar involving marijuana.
You know, I've worked with her on both sides, and she's always been a pleasure to work with.
Now, a court document that we obtained indicates Nicole Fegan was Mender's defense lawyer. It indicates in that case he pled guilty to possession of weapon by incarcerated individual, possession of telecommunications device by incarcerated individual, and participation in criminal street gang activity. That last charge as an Alford plea, which I understand means he does not admit that he did it. but that it was in his best interest to plead guilty. There's much more on this that we're digging into. For now, reporting live, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
So she was going over and beyond for her client.
Well, there's been a handful of attorneys in the history of our country that have smuggled things in for prisoners and inmates.
It happens.
I'm not saying she did that, but allegedly, but it's happened. I just read one from another state like a month ago, where a lawyer just got hit with a drug charge.
I ain't gonna lie, if I was a public servant, a police officer, peace officer, whatever you want to call it, I'd probably be not a crooked cop, but a cool cop. You feel me? I'd probably sell a little drugs. You feel me? I ain't taking people to jail and putting cases on people, but I'd probably, you know what I mean? I'd probably be off-duty security for one of these rappers, and, you know what I'm saying? And, you know.
You wouldn't last probably that long then in whatever department you would.
Well, Death Row had all these officers around. They lasted.
Well, none of them stayed cops. Like, look at Reggie Wright. Reggie Wright was already off the force.
But he had a fantasy of being a pyro before he was a police officer.
Oh, you think so?
So that was his way to live it out.
You think he wanted to be a mob pyro?
Yeah, but you know, like everybody else, parents on that street, they had work all day while they kids outside, or their daddy ain't there. He had that household and that structure. So, but he always fantasized and looked at the tough guys that could actually get some pussy, and it was hard for him. You know what I'm saying? I bet you. And he had a chance. Like, man, come Death Row. Like, there's a chance.
And look what happened to Rafael Perez, Nino Darden. These are all L.A. cops. David Mack. They were kind of somewhat linked to death row, even though others have said there is no link. But there's been allegations that those three cops were linked to death row, and they all ended up going to prison.
Was all them officers from Rampart?
Yeah, they were from Rampart. And then another cop committed suicide. I forget his name. One of Reggie Wright's cops. And then, I don't think any of them had successful law enforcement careers. None of them did. No, I would have stayed away from death row if I was trying to have a successful career.
Yeah, I'll probably be the cool cop. I wouldn't call myself cricket, but I'll be the cool cop. I'll be in my patrol car, pulling up on pretty females like Angee. Like, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Need some help?
All up in the music videos.
Yeah.
And then that other cop that was driving around in Sharitha Knight's cars, he was driving around in death row cars. He got shot and killed by another cop in a road rage incident. By Frank Liger. Frank Liger shot and killed Kevin Gaines.
Yeah.
So all these cops ended up
going out backwards.
Yeah. So if I wouldn't recommend working for a death row records if you're trying to have a cool career as a cop.
Damn, I almost wore my Death Row Records sweater today too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is that the one where'd you get that one from?
It was gifted to me by shout out to Kevin, Snoop Dogg's right hand man, for the Lefty Gunplay interview.
Yeah, that's right.
Full circle.
You had told me about
they
that.
They gifted us a ton of clothes for Lefty. So yeah, I got a couple pieces.
How much time is this YSL lawyer facing?
That's a good question. I mean, it doesn't say, but she's in a lot of trouble, man. You don't get. They might, they tend to make people like this, like when it's connected to a celebrity, they try and make examples out of them.
Well, she got a poppin' Instagram page. She likes to post a lot of pictures of her, sitting in the car, little sexy outfits, mini skirts, tight jeans. She definitely looks like a fun lawyer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's her name again? Find her on Facebook. What's her name?
Nicole Fegan.
Okay, Miss Fegan.
And her Instagram is Fegan Law, FEGANLAW.
Oh, damn.
Okay, Miss Fegan.
And in her profile it says Miss Got Proof with a question mark. Trial attorney, lady lawyer with the French Bulldogs. Yeah, she got a lot of pictures with her dogs. And
when's the last time she posted?
let's see, her last post.
Is she from what city?
She's from Georgia. I don't know what city.
Okay.
She just posted on May 11th. No, she doesn't post too often, huh? Let's see, unless that's a pin post. Was that a pin post? Yeah, May 11th was her last post.
All right, it's been a while.
It's a couple months ago, right?
She's been busy.
Yeah.
She ain't been that busy.
Too busy for social media.
I think that
She moved like a gangster because she hang around them. So she don't post as much.
yeah, I think she got a chance of beating the case because a lot of these cases where lawyers get charged, lawyers can win those cases sometimes. You know, it's like 50-50. So I wouldn't say she's washed up.
I don't think so. They took a loss with YSL as a whole when they handled their indictment, and now they want to take it out on somebody else. It's misdirected frustration.
Oh, and you know what? The same thing's gonna happen with Diddy. And I remember you was following the Diddy case, Angie. Were you surprised that he pretty much beat the most serious charges?
I did a prediction video on that, and I got it mostly right. I didn't think he would be indicted on the RICO because he's a one-man band and he didn't really have a hierarchy and like a whole network. It was really just him giving the directions. So I wasn't surprised that he got off on that. Um, I am curious to see what his sentencing will be though, because there's all kinds of people saying like it could be anywhere from a year. He's going to be out by Christmas to the prosecutors are realistically only asking 6 years. But then again, if it comes down to trial by jury, the judge could just give him the max and give him 10 years. So
Well, I don't think a judge will sentence Diddy to more than what the prosecution is asking.
I don't, he could though. It's his discretion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you will though.
So I think well the what are they asking for 5 or 6?
That's what I've heard. Yes.
Okay, so the minimum is 21 months. So let's say it's from 21 months to whatever the government is asking for. Let's say 6.
Supposedly 6, yeah.
21 to 6. That's what he's looking at.
The max is 10, right?
The max is 10.
I think he get the midterm 5.
Yeah, he can only get no. Actually, the max on it is like 5 years, but he can get 10 if other circumstances are like computed into the sentencing, like the beating of Cassie on video, the level of violence that they was able to establish. Of course, the defense is going to say, "Bro, that's irrelevant. He was just convicted of the Mann Act.
Yeah.
Let's deal with the Mann Act, you know, and not deal with all these other things." So the Mann Act is 60 months max, and they're not going to run his sentences because he got 2 Mann Act convictions. They're not going to run his sentences consecutively.
They're running concurrent.
Yeah, so 21 months minimum, 5-6 years max. Even if he gets the max, let's say he gets 6 years. 85% of that's 4.5 years. He's got a year credit. He'll be out in 3, even if he gets what the government is asking.
Yeah.
Free Diddy.
So it ended up not being too bad for Diddy.
No, but then he's going to get hit with a lot of other outside cases.
Yeah, that's
outside.
Yeah, the civil cases aren't going to stop.
No, the civil cases ain't got nothing to do with jail though.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's gonna still. I don't think that's an issue for him. He just pays all that off.
Right.
We'll see if he's got that much money.
And it looks like Tony Buzbee is not really. He don't have credible victims.
Woo! I gotta get credit to your boy, Vlad. It was a panel with 3 people, and he was speaking on the behalf of Puffy, and Vlad held it down. It was a woman that was speaking on the behalf of Cassie. I think the Buzbee dude was up there, and one other one, and Vlad held it down like POP, bro.
Well, I think that's an easy call though, right? I think you would have been able to hold that one down too, Munchie.
For sure.
You would have been up there saying, "Look, they presented this case as 100 bottles of baby oil."
But he kind of like was bringing out stuff I didn't know and making like valid points, and I was like, okay, that's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the RICO.
And he pointed out to Buzbee, didn't nobody that you took on a civil cases, they didn't use none of them for witnesses because they not credible. None of them. Not one. Hey, Vlad was on them. Shout out Vlad for real.
Okay, but yeah, Buzbee's clients aren't credible. A lot of these lawsuits, I mean, I don't want to judge all the lawsuits that Diddy's going to get hit with ahead of time, but Most of them will not be credible. Some of them might be. You know, there are women right now going to come out the woodworks and say, Diddy did this to me. We going to automatically say she's lying and she's trying to get money? Maybe. Maybe not. But I'd rather deal with that than sitting in federal prison for 20 years, right? Rather deal with some of these lawsuits. And the RICO thing, even though Diddy is a one-man band, and that's one of the arguments they had about the defending the RICO. Like, you can't just charge RICO on Diddy. There's no organization. They did take Lil Doc Don down in a RICO case. He was a one-man band. But of course, they associated Lil Doc Don with the East Coast Crips. Who were they associating Diddy with for the RICO?
He's not gang
The
affiliated.
Bad Boy Bloods.
But
I mean, what did he go?
Did they create an enterprise? Like, when I'm reading in the indictment, they never gave like an enterprise, but they would say this person bought the plane tickets, this person got the Molly pills, this person was organizing the schedules of the prostitutes. But is that an enterprise? Is that an organization?
No, they were his employees.
Well, anytime you doing things illegal, and then it's an organization, it's a criminal enterprise, right?
Yeah, but then you should indict the person that was planning all the plane tickets. Then you indict the dude that was buying all the perks, the mollies, and all the other dope. Then you indict the person that was flying the prostitutes from state A to state B, which is a violation of the Mann Act. They didn't do that. They just put all that on Diddy.
Yeah,
Quick
that's where they
question.
messed up.
Since this have came to almost an end, Angie, do you feel Cassie is a victim?
Well, yes, I do, because she encountered Diddy when she was 19 years old.
So she not a co-conspirator in no way?
No, I don't think so, because she was so young when
So even though Clayton Howard walked in and she had one penis in one hand and a penis in another one going to work, she came during these sexual encounters. She's contacted the sex workers behind Puffy back on her
she
own.
didn't want to get her ass kicked.
She called this man and tricked him into having sex with her while on her womanly time during the month.
I think she was so scared of Diddy that
Diddy didn't orchestrate the bloody the womanly time of the month thing.
he did.
She hit the light on him and pushed the man to her, and and when the light came on, there was blood on his lap.
I mean, Diddy probably made her do that regardless, so she's not gonna tell.
Okay, are you familiar with the word stealthing?
I can't kind of guess what that means.
You could guess.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Basically, like, you're just in the dark having sex.
Stealthing, and this is a crime. If hypothetically I'm having intercourse with this girl Jasmine, and I have protection on, and if I take the condom off and put it back in, at that point I'm stealthing.
Okay.
That's against the law, because she didn't consent to that.
Yeah.
She slipped a condom off with Clayton Howard, and in one swift motion, boom, and then he didn't. Of course, he didn't stop. He was into it, and he contracted chlamydia. Did you know that?
Is that part of the new case?
No. All
Because she is getting sued right now.
she's getting sued by him because the man that's representing multiple people didn't want him to take the stand or him to speak up, because that will make him lose other civil cases.
Yeah.
So he suppress this man testimony, and you know what I'm saying, and district attorneys is contacting this particular attorney saying make sure he stay out of court.
Yeah. No, I heard about
So do you still think this woman's a victim?
that. I feel she was victimized. I'm not saying that she did everything correct, but I think that she was in these situations because she was scared of getting her ass kicked.
So she was scared, even though, because you cheating on somebody you scared of? with their friends and associates?
I mean, possibly if you think you can get away with it.
Hmm.
Well, she
Okay.
was definitely a victim in that hotel video.
Yeah, I think that need to stop being talked about. Cause if they can't convict them of it, they gotta leave it alone. But I mean, you can't convict them of it, and
I,
then we don't know what took place before he caught up to her in the hallway. There's no reason to put your hands on a woman. You could have verbally abused her, just cursed her out, but we don't know what took place leading up to that. And then his record of her putting her hands on him first, maybe once or twice.
yeah, which is not. Yeah, no one should be hitting anyone.
Well, Clayton Howard believes that she needs to be a co-defendant, and she's just as guilty as Puffy.
Maybe in that one situation, you know, he's talking about his
But
specific.
all 3 sex workers said they believe she enjoyed it. Well, if you're uncomfortable, then not to talk vulgar, but if I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna go soft. I'm not gonna stay erect. This woman, she stayed wet, and she came in these encounters.
Well, I know she was. I think she was on substances. I'm not. I'm definitely. I wasn't there. I don't know.
No, we just playing devil's and advocate and God's angel. But I'm just saying, I don't believe that woman's a victim. You know what I'm saying? I think he should have kept his hands to herself. I think he should have kept his foot in his hands to himself. And a scarring woman will get your ass, and she got you for 30 million. And now look at you. You're in a bad predicament. You can't hurt people's feelings and put your hands on these females, especially females. And this is the results. You should have married her like you've been promising to do and be with her and all that shit. And you lied to her. And look. But I thought you'd be the best attorney for Cassie, so I just thought I should ask you these questions. But she's not a victim.
Well, the jury didn't believe her, and was it Daphne?
Well, she's supposed to not have her name out there, but yeah, she's only supposed to be known as Jane Doe.
Yeah, well, 50 Cent identified her just as well as us. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know it's Daphne.
Well, they told long stories, multiple days, that were supposed to convict Diddy of the other 3 counts. So what does that tell us? The jury felt
Right. They didn't convict. Yeah.
that means they didn't believe those 2 women.
Yeah.
At least they didn't believe the majority of what they were testifying about. So basically, they didn't think that they agreed, kind of what Munchie's saying. They didn't agree that they were victims.
Well, I think they fucked up on the stand because they said they still loved him.
Both of them said that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cassie said that too?
I didn't know that, but I always felt that.
I think she inferred that she did, but Jane Doe definitely did say she was asked directly.
Well, I would find that shocking if Cassie did, because she's married to another man now and got a family.
I think she
Yeah.
did because her man, he overheard everything. He knew. He wanted to be in the courtroom, so it wasn't any surprise to him.
He wasn't allowed in the courtroom?
No. Puffy got him denied. He said he didn't want him in the courtroom. So he wasn't able to be there in person.
So is Diddy going to be able to get out of prison in, let's say, 2 or 3 years and continue his business endeavors and be on Revolt and jump on these podcasts and have fun like he was doing before?
Revolt is over. He could continue in music, and then the freak offs got to stop. Or you going back, bro?
Well, the freak offs turned out not to be what we thought they were. Everyone thought there was these big lavish parties with multiple people.
Well, if you go do freak offs, you got to order the sex workers from the where you from, bro. You can't bring them to California from New York or from Miami.
Yeah, you gotta find
Some local
local people.
some local freaks.
You can't cross no state lines.
But I believe he turned her out, and it's just turning somebody out is a real thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He said, "Take this." She said, "What's this?" He said, "Just take it and make you feel good." He didn't shove it in her mouth. She took the ecstasy and started liking it.
Well, how easy is it to turn out a 19-year-old when you and your
Very
30s?
easy,
Yeah.
especially when she's 19, like
Yeah.
Alnisha said, and she never got her little box ate before. So he the first to do that. So she wasn't all that experienced. So a lot of her first came from Puffy. And then when you that much older, 19 to like somebody in their 30s, and you got money, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to use the word manipulation, but it's a lot of you got a lot of incentive to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he won. Diddy won.
Right.
Regardless of what his sentencing is going to be, we don't know what it is. Even if he got 10.
Man, if I was Puffy lawyer and I overheard Angee talking in the hallway, I'd come back in there and be like, we got to get her out the jury. She got to go.
For sure, because I would have convicted
she's
him.
going to get my man's
I
washed
got
up.
my grievances with Diddy because of other shit, okay? Because of other things that I don't like that he was
I
involved
don't
with.
like the gay shit. I believe he bisexual, but
I'm
hey.
surprised there was a lack of that came up in the trial.
Oh, they ain't talking about none of his male victims?
None of that came up.
What happened to the dude that initially made a civil claim, the Rod dude, and he gave, why he never got called to the stand? They don't believe him? He's a producer, Rod.
Oh yeah.
What happened to him? He made claims early on, and he never got called to the forefront.
Yeah, he had some pictures in his lawsuit too. Some funny photos in the studio with who was it? Cuba Gooding Jr. was in some of the photos.
Oh yeah, they say he funny bunny too. He hypersexual.
Yeah, but that I read over that.
But if I'm wrong, forgive me, Cube.
I read over his complaint. It didn't sound that credible. He was making some outlandish, unsupported allegations.
But shout out to Munchie, Kanye West, Lil Boosie, and Stevie J. We from the gate.
Y'all held it down for Diddy, right?
We was holding it down. We never, cause now a lot of people in the switch like, yeah, Diddy, yeah. And they was celebrating outside the courtroom. People was busting bottles of baby oil on outside the court building. You seen that video?
Yeah, but they weren't showing that support prior.
Nah, they wasn't. No, they wasn't.
Very few people, because when it's sex charges involved, it's kind of you're playing a very delicate game. Like, do you publicly support the guy that allegedly committed sex offenses?
Okay, if I come with my own oil, it's gonna have a nice little scent. I'm gonna come with Munchie oil, and I'm gonna start selling it. You gonna support me, Angie, or what?
I'll buy baby oil made by Munchie for sure.
Yeah, all right.
That
You know what I'm
sounds
saying?
like
Cause you know I ain't on no freaky
a
deaky
good
shit. You feel
idea.
me? It's the oil your skin, keep the females looking shiny, and whoever else want to use it, no freak off tool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the world's ready for a competitor.
Yeah,
in
the
the
Munchie oil.
baby oil scene.
All right.
Baby oil industry.
Well, before we close this out, I just wanted to tap in with this immigration situation. You know, they've been deporting Mexicans, Central Americans, and people that got a particular Latino look. Right, Munchie? We talked about this earlier.
Right.
You got a particular Latino paisa look, and you're in these areas like meat packing plants, Home Depots. But now the Justice Department is turning towards black immigrants, and the Haitians are now on Trump's hit list.
Haitians, Belizeans, Jamaicans.
Well, definitely the Haitians, because they've been targeted straight up, the Haitians. So it's now moving into different groups, different cultures. It's just not the Latino looking. And you know what's crazy? That the news isn't really talking about it that much, but the raids haven't stopped. They're still snatching people up.
Yeah.
They're still getting scooped up, but
I mean, we see it because we're here in LA.
the protests have stopped. People aren't complaining as much, but it's still happening.
There was a small protest the other day outside of the
Small though.
the police department.
Yeah, all the protests are little, small. No one wants to get gassed up now. People are now intimidated into from not protesting and pulling up and showing out. But yeah, our Haitian folks is about to get scooped up, rounded up, and sent back to the island.
Man, I gotta hide my baby ass bash, huh? She Haitian.
Yeah, hopefully she don't get scooped up, but I'm almost certain she was born here though.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. All right, so what you got going on in your world of Latin affiliated, Angee?
I just came from the Chicano Hollywood Film Fest, so that was cool. They had a bunch of movie directors there that presented a bunch of films. That's what I did last weekend.
Did you get to watch a bunch of films?
Yeah, man, you have to be a movie buff to go to those film fests because it's just back to back to back films.
And then you're sitting in one and you're like, all right, this one's boring.
Oh
Then
my
you,
God,
then you
yeah.
walk out to try to find another one, right?
Yeah, but shout out to Johnny Murillo. He's the creator of it. It was an inaugural film fest.
Oh, this is their first one?
Yeah, it was the first one. But that's what I did this weekend, and I'm just doing my little commentary on Latin Affiliated, starting to do some sort of news segments on Latin Affiliated, and yeah. So other than that, I'm doing my court case channel where I do talk about cases like this. So you can find me under my name Angee Smallz on YouTube or Latin Affiliated.
What's the next good case that caught your attention?
I mean, there's so many rabbit holes we could go down. But people,
Tyler Perry, freaky ass.
hey, give me some suggestions. I'm
on,
down
man.
for some suggestions. If you want me to
Come
do
on, man.
Tyler Perry, I'll
Wait.
talk about that.
Is Tyler Perry a criminal case?
No, it's civil. We
Oh.
need to be talked about with his freaky ass.
Okay.
Nah.
And he was at the BET Awards. I was there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, literally the next day, he got that came out in the paper.
I
Or
don't
in the
care
news.
about civil cases because one, you don't need any evidence, and two, you don't need 12 jurors to agree.
But it's interesting though when it's Tyler Perry and the shit that's being said. That is funny.
Yeah, it is. It's just entertainment.
But those rumors have been going around about him for a long time.
But it's not a rumor no more. This shit is freaky. That shit is funny. I almost my stomach was hurting. I was laughing so hard.
I watched the Tyler Perry movie where he was in it. Like he doesn't usually be in his own movies, but he was in the movie where he was playing like a husband and a father.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And bro did not come off fatherly or husbandly at all. I was like, this guy don't know. He's not.
He don't really nail it, huh?
No, he didn't
don't
nail
nail
it at
the
all.
The father
I was like-
thing or the warm husband.
I wasn't buying it at all. I was like, come on, you need to stay behind the camera or put that dress on.
Why did I get married?
I think it was the Alex Cross. Does he play Alex Cross?
I haven't seen it.
I know he in Mr. Deeds and he's in like.
Steph, do you know the name of the character that Tyler Perry plays? He played Alex Cross. And as Alex Cross, a husband and a father? Yeah, that's the one. I was just like, bro, you can just tell when a person ain't conveying the complete totality of the character. To me, at least, I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't buying it.
Right.
He does a great job with the Medea, though.
Yeah.
With the
I
production.
mean, he's a billionaire,
Yeah.
Right.
so he's doing something right.
But do you cover civil cases or are you doing
Yeah.
crime?
No. I'll do things like that. I mean, I was covering the Meta case. It's not even widely reported on, so that one was actually doing pretty well. I think 'cause I was like one of the few people talking about it. But Mark Zuckerberg was getting sued by the government again because they think that Facebook is a monopoly. So that's been talked about for a while. But he was still in court like recently about it. So it's really crazy. But it doesn't get reported on too much. And people send me cases. Sometimes I haven't had a lot of time to do so many videos, but yeah, so I'm still working on it.
Sounds good. Munchie B, the mayor. What you got popping?
Oh man, content. Everybody go follow me up at Munchie B the Mayor YouTube channel. And I just came up with an idea. Me and Angee, we could do the
Hey.
1967 podcast.
Oh, what's 1967?
That's the year interracial marriages became legal because it was illegal for a white and a black or anything interracial to even blend and be married. 1967. Before 1967, it was illegal.
All right.
Did you know that, Alex?
I didn't know the year.
Right.
That must have been the federal date for it.
Yeah, federal.
Yeah, because each state had their own rules against interracial. That's where the Mann Act came out of.
But the federal thing had to do that thing so they could push the issue because down south they
would have never changed it.
Right.
It would still be like that right now.
So federal
Yeah.
had to put the whole umbrella. You know what I'm saying?
But the conviction that Diddy has was birthed out of a law inspired to stop interracial relationships
Wow.
in 1910.
Right.
That's when the Mann Act came out. And the first victim of the Mann Act was a black heavyweight boxer named Jack Johnson.
Damn, Alex.
And then you
remember
go, and then you fast forward all the way to 2025, and now Diddy Diddy got the Mann Act. I think they gave R. Kelly the Mann Act also.
He was hoping P. Diddy was going to join him in jail.
Hey, man, free
He
Kelly.
was getting his bed ready.
All right, well, maybe you guys can collaborate on that 1967.
I'm down, Munchie. You know I got
1967
you.
Podcast, we got to go up.
All right. Let me know when and where, whose channel is going to be on.
All right, y'all. Alex Alonso 101 on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can listen to this podcast audio only on Spotify, Apple, and iHeart. And of course, all video clips of this episode will be available on the StreetTV YouTube channel. And we out.